Hello, my name is Isai Gonzalez, and I'm making this video to answer a couple of ethical questions about the Space Shuttle Challenger, the NASA mission that unfortunately didn't go as planned, and 7 astronauts were killed during the launch. Um, this is for my Tech 1010 class. Again, my name is Isai Gonzalez. And the first question is, what could NASA have done differently? I think the primary thing that NASA could have done completely different is research. They they were so caught up at this time with the arms race, not arms race, but the space race, I guess you can say, that they wanted to be the first person or the first nation to go to space at the time, and they were racing against Russia, and they wanted to prove that technology wise that they were superior, or they thought that they were, and I think that that kind of veered off the main point of research. They they set aside facts and they set aside research to be first, basically. And I think that when you're dealing with something with people's lives are on the line, you need to be 100%, 110% positive that things will go as planned. And I think you have to set aside timelines and you have to focus on facts and hard evidence. And that's what I'm ethically is my answer. The next question is, what should Roger Boisjoly have done differently, if anything? I think he couldn't have done anything different. I think he did everything perfectly. He brought it up numerous times that there were issues with the O-rings under extreme cold temperatures and how they were unable to seal due to joint. I forgot the word, but under a certain amount of stress and heat and gases, that these gases would pass through the O-ring. And I think that Roger Boisjoly did exactly what he swears or believes is right as an engineer. One of the topics at the end is that engineers have a moral obligation for the welfare and safety for society, for the things that they engineer and invent, that their primary focus or their primary point of inventing or engineering is to keep the welfare of humanity in mind first. And I personally think that Mr. Boisjoly did just that. He was an engineer who was assigned to work under Martin Theokel, a company here in Utah. And at his age, the prospect of finding a new job, if he was fired, was very difficult. And I think that despite that, he still summoned the courage to say, hey, this is what my research shows me, and this is why I think we should postpone the launch. And so I think he did amazing. The last question is, what do I, as a student, see as my future engineering professional responsibilities in relation to both being loyal to management and protecting the public welfare? That's kind of a hard question, but I personally think that my obligation, especially as a heavy duty diesel mechanic, is to do things correctly. If a wheel doesn't get, or a tire doesn't get bolted on to torque spec and flies out and kills a family, it's my fault. And if the company says, oh, we need to do something unsafe because it saves time, and because time is saved, we will make more money, I don't think I'll ever be able to back that up. But as an engineer or as a diesel technician, I have the moral obligation to do it right. First time every time is what we used to say in the army, and that's what I think about that question. Is to do the right thing versus being loyal to a corporation. be loyal to people.